Cam Ward is now in elite company. He joins 64 others who have reached a very special milestone as he heads to the locker room, a place where he has held two of the most important trophies the game has to offer. He gets set for a big night as we mark 500 for Wardo. Fox Sports Carolinas welcomes you inside PNC Arena for a very special night tonight to honor 500 games for Cam Ward, and the Hurricanes get set for the Washington Capitals. Good evening, everybody. Alongside Trip Tracy, I'm John Forsland. As always, thanks for joining us. 500 for Cam Ward and counting. 500 was here Tuesday night in a win over Philadelphia, and Trip, it was a dandy.
Yeah, it really was a vintage Cam Ward performance when you look at how it was executed. He was athletic. The Alberta native has always, I thought, been one of the more athletic goaltenders in hockey. No more athletic save than that one. Fought through traffic, had that calming presence. His teammates did their job as he just had to worry about making the first save. Look at that support. And at the end of the night, he got what he wanted most, which was the victory.
Take a look at the active goaltenders who have reached this mark. Roberto Luongo, Henrik Lundqvist, Ryan Miller, Marc-Andre Fleury, and of course, Carolina's Cam Ward. The last two have won Stanley Cups. It's a very special night and a very special on-ice ceremony. Here's PA announcer Brian Hoyle.
Fortunate I am to be able to play in such a great city, and it's a treat to be able to call Raleigh my home.
Please welcome our special guest for tonight, Senior Vice President of Hockey Operations for the National Hockey League, Jim Gregory. General Manager of your Carolina Hurricanes, Ron Francis. Cam Ward's family, his parents, Ken and Laurel Ward, his wife, Cody, and their children, Nolan and Nyla. Caniacs, please welcome to the ice number 30, Cam Ward. Gregory from the NHL will present Cam with a Crystal Milestone Award recognizing 500 games played. Would like to present Cam with a special silver stick commemorating this milestone. Finally, his teammates, represented by Captain Eric Stahl, would like to present Cam with a special etched wine bottle that will arrive in March in celebration of this achievement. In the meanwhile, the players hope you'll enjoy a favorite bottle of your own wine. Congratulations, Cam Ward, on reaching 500 games played.
Great goaltender and even a better man. Let's celebrate 500 and counting with Cam Ward.
Caniacs, don't go anywhere. Puck drop is next.
That's the matchup we have tonight. 157th all-time meeting between these two teams. Let's check out the starting goaltenders tonight. For the Hurricanes, Cam Ward will soak it in. Anton Khudobin gets the start. His last one was a loss at New Jersey on Saturday night, a game in which he had 16 saves, 3-1 affair. Braden Holtby is 7-2-1 in his last 12 with a couple of shutouts and a goals against under 2. Bill Peters coming off a win against Philadelphia. Fine team effort on Tuesday night, 4-1. Barry Trotz first season as the coach here in Washington. And Barry Trotz has spent the last 15 seasons with the Nashville Predators. Sit back and enjoy this one. John Carlson pressured by Jordan Staal. Nicholas Backstrom tied to the league lead in terms of points. Hands it off to Brooks Orpik, and now Hurricanes get after it. Justin Falk looking for Eric. Eric Staal denied by Nick Backstrom, and back out to center ice.
See how both teams start. Carolina was on the bench for the award ceremony. Excellent ceremony. Washington came out just after.
Washington has lost 2 in a row. They're knocking on the door of first place of the Metropolitan Division, 6 points out. They have the first wild card spot right now, but that changes almost daily. It comes all the way in on Braden Holtby. We'll put it on a tee for John Carlson. Young man born in New England but raised in New Jersey. He's had an outstanding season. Brooks Laich gets a stick to it. Overskating Joel Ward, getting to it Eric Fehr, and he's had a remarkable year. This might be the best third line in the NHL.
Fehr, he brings the size that the Washington forward group has. His second tour with the Caps, a former first-round pick, went to Winnipeg for a bit.
Eric Fehr, 17 goals already out of the corner. Mikhail Jordan for Carolina. As the Hurricanes chip it out to center ice. Back-to-back sequence for the Canes starts tonight. Tomorrow evening, we're at Nassau Coliseum for the final time. We'll shut down the barn after this year. Canes and Islanders starting with Hurricanes live at 4:30. Anton Hudobin in the trapezoid let it go out of the corner. At the top of your screen, they start a breakout. Here's Riley Nash. Nash in control. He'll pitch it by Jack Hillen. Mike Green coming back, pressured by Nash. Troy Brouwer in control. He had 2 points in a 4-3 loss against Pittsburgh, their last effort on Wednesday night. Anton Hudobin fields that one, and we get a stoppage. Let's take a look at the Rex Express Care. Injuries and scratches. Rex Healthcare, chosen for excellence.
Well, Ryan Murphy has actually begun to skate, so that's a very, very good thing. And I'm not sure. I think there's a good chance he'll accompany the team on the 2-game road trip that will begin in New York, as you mentioned, and then head to Chicago. Chris Terry will end up getting a heck of an opportunity with the absence of Yuri Tlusty. We wish Tlusty, of course, and Sekera the best of luck in Winnipeg and L.A.
Bill Peters mentioned this morning he wants to get Terry back in the lineup as soon as possible. Could be tomorrow night along the boards now. To the point, Mike Green, he'll address it, hold on to it, Green in control. He'll drag it, it's blocked out in front in a high slot by Tom Wilson. He clears along the boards and Carolina escapes harm. Here they come, Brad Malone, coming off his 100th game as an NHLer. That was Tuesday night, he had an assist, and when he gets a point in a game, the Canes are 7-1-2. Alex Burakovsky with a shot handled by Anton Hudobin. And we get a break in play. Well, the trading deadline is Monday at 3 Eastern time, but the Hurricanes have been active.
And Tlusty has already been active with Winnipeg. He was part of a shootout loss with the St. Louis Blues. He has a history with head coach Paul Maurice. And for Andrej Sekera, we wish him the best of luck in Los Angeles. He did not play last night against the Ottawa Senators. And the Czech and the Slovak were very fine players here and better people. And I hope their NHL careers have very, very successful chapters.
Sekera will make his debut tonight for the Kings against the Anaheim Ducks. Now along the wall. Carlson tries to clear, held in by Ron Hainsey. Eric Staal, wrap chance denied by Orpik. Loose. Holtby says no on Jordan Staal. Falk now at the point with a shot blocked by Alex Ovechkin, and it goes out of play.
Well, this is strength versus strength, and one of our game keys is going to be which team's star forwards have bigger nights. You know, the Stahls with Semin. Semin, of course, a former Cap, but he's really never had a huge game against Ovechkin and the Caps. This is a good first shift. Watch that right pad. Actually, it was more in the center of the butterfly for Braden Holtby, who has had an outstanding season, so a good early shift from the Staal plus Semin.
They were outstanding against Philadelphia. They're tough to handle when they establish themselves, especially below the icing line. They being the Staal brothers, and tonight, Alex Semin starts with them. Falk in control. We'll move it along. He had 2 points against Philly here on Tuesday. Joel Ward tries to clear, not out. Hainsey a shot through a screen wide. Skinner the screen out in front, and Jeff Skinner has 5 goals in his last 7 games. Joel Ward a kiss on Elias Lindholm, and it comes out to center ice.
It should be a physical game, as Washington has really transformed themselves. We talked to Barry Trotz of a team that can really dial it up with the heaviness, and you're right, Skinner is going to the dangerous areas with some regularity.
All right, Trip, let's take a look at the Storm Tracker tonight. As always, our game keys.
Well, it starts with the special teams that actually Carolina, I think, is coming in with more momentum in both special team categories. And I talked about the top forwards, of course, Ovechkin and Backstrom versus Stahl, Semin, Skinner, and Falk and Hainsey. They played together some in the past, but with no Andre Sekera, will it be a seamless adjustment as Ron Hainsey plays with Justin Falk?
Victor Rask, he'll power it back to Tim Gleason. It's centered out in front, intended for Andre Nestrashil by Nathan Gerbe. Gerbe traps the zone momentarily. Fought for just inside the line, and Rask got to it. Holtby now out to play it. He handles it well. Carl Alsner along the boards. Brooks Laich, he's tied up by Tim Gleason. Joel Ward for the Caps tries to clear. Ward gets to it. Broken up by Nathan Gerbe. Flung in the zone by Brooks Laich. Just about 4 minutes gone in this first period. Scoreless as it rolls in on Hudobin. Brouwer's pass picked off by Rask. Victor hands it off to Tim Gleason, and the Hurricanes can start over. Mikhail Jordan out to neutral ice. Cross ice it goes for Rask. Guarded by Jack Hillen. Hillen seals the wall on him. Nestrashil for the Hurricanes goes to work. This way it's Gerbe. A tough angle shut down with a blocker by Holtby. Andre Nestrashil. Nathan Gerbe off the mark. It stays in play, and it's held in by Brett Belmore. He'll feed it along. Mike Green reads the play. A nice job here for Washington as they attempt to get it out.
Belmore missed the morning skate due to an illness, and that was a sharp keep. Sometimes when you're not 100%, you actually play better, believe it or not.
Mike Green taking care of along the boards. Andre Burakovsky for Washington, 65 in white. And the younger players, Lyles in his 700th game reverses for Carolina. Pat Dwyer through center, intended for Jay McClement. Comes all the way back in the Washington zone. This is icing. Coors Light. Cold hard facts. Our first installment tonight, appropriately enough. Cam Ward, honored before the game for 500 games played, as you see the franchise leaders, and he's quite a bit away from Artur Zerbe, who got the jump on him in the early 2000s.
By the way, John, one of his goalie coaches who has 777 games played and 369 wins and 2 cups, Tom Barrasso, was watching the ceremony and talked about how proud he is of Cam, and he's so happy to see his former student having fun again. And we wish Tom Barrasso all the best, and Cam credits him for many things, and in particular improving his puck handling.
As you saw, we'll sit down with Cam Ward inside of Hurricane, a two-parter with Tripp and myself between the first and second periods tonight and the second intermission. Now, Alex Ovechkin carried along. Marcus Johansson. Ovechkin shut down by Hudobin. Second chance handled by Anton Hudobin. Justin Falk on Nicholas Backstrom. A loose puck in back of the goal, and Carolina will sort it out.
What a pass by Backstrom. What a pass.
In control, Backstrom now back of the goal, holding onto it away from Falk. As Johansson in the high slot. On a cycle, Alex Ovechkin leading the NHL with 39 goals. Johansson winds it up. Here's Backstrom. He'll front the play. Lay it back indirectly for Brooks Orpik. Along the boards, knocked out of midair by Backstrom. Legally, back to the point. Orpik awaiting, but getting to it first. John Carlson nullified by Alex Semin.
Boy, that again, you know, more of a compete, more of an urgency to Semin's defensive game. I mean, he came all the way across the ice. He was the weak side winger, came over to the strong side at the end of his shift to get that puck out.
Through center ice now on the attack, Riley Nash. Holtby directing traffic. Carlson crunched on the forecheck by Skinner. Eric Fair moves it, a read by Riley Nash. Elias Lindholm. He's defended by Jack Hillen. Lindholm hands it off to Nash out of the corner. Now knocking it down, controlling it, Eric Fair. On him is opposite number Lindholm. It kicks out. Nash has it. His shot sealed off by Braden Holtby. 13:26 left to go in the opening period. He has 39 and counting. What a pass by Marcus Johansson. The shot by OV and the stop by 31.
Back at PNC Arena was the talk of the town Tuesday night. Cam Ward played in his 500th NHL game. He told me before the game he was a little bit anxious, a little bit nervous, but after the game, here is his reflection on the milestone. Or Geico quote, "It was clear our guys wanted to put in a really strong effort tonight. I really appreciate it, and it makes it a lot sweeter when you can walk away with the win, guys."
That's right, Chantel. It was quite evident, Tripp, from the start of the game.
It really was, and he's back this year to having fun. He committed himself, I think, to being in the present and really enjoying the game. And that was one of the things that we talk so much about, the fact it's in marker on his stick. He got away from that for a bit. and he's gotten back to that. He reset himself this summer using a couple of different tools, and his game followed suit.
And as you see, Cam will join us live from the bench during the second period tonight. We look forward to that. I don't know if it's one of the highlights of his career, but we thank him for it. Now it's fed along by Troy Brouwer. Inside it goes on a cycle, and they grind it all the way back. A handoff here, and in control, Evgeny Kuznetsov. Mike Green out in front, good stick. Mikhail Jordan before it got to the attacking forward, Jason Chimera. Now at back of the goal, Carolina sorts it out again.
Green's been very active in all three zones. That's what he does. That's what he has to do and play like to be successful. And Jordan, heck of a chance for him. Good play away from the puck.
Jack Hillen was double-teamed on the forecheck. Now Mike Green along the wall, punched out by Troy Brouwer. Here's Ovechkin dancing, defended well by Brett Belmore.
Boy, Belmore, I thought he did a good job of taking time and space away on the Skinner goal the other night. You have to take away time and space with the league's best player, or best players. He did on Ovechkin.
Brett Belmore hinges back out off the stick of Patrick Dwyer. You see it come in. Matt Niskanen all over him. Carl Alsner, his partner, moves it. Getting back on it here is Marcus Johansson out to neutral ice. Knocked down by Ron Hainsey, elevated into the crowd, and we get a break in play. Hey, Caniacs, 50% off is back. If the Canes score 3 or more goals tonight, get 50% off your entire menu price online order at participating Papa John's the day after the Canes score 3 or more. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
You just can't get puck focused in this league. And watch the left side of your screen. Play away from the puck. Jordan on Chimera. And even when Chimera has offensive positioning, your stick can make up for a lot, and Jordan's did.
Through the center zone now, Brooks Laich for Washington. Coming back, Jordan Staal. Skate to stick, it's Eric. The captain flings it across, broken up by Brooks Laich. John Carlson in control. A lead pass on and off the stick of Brooks Laich. He's sealed off beautifully by Justin Falk. In support of him is Ron Hainsey. They battle along the boards, it pops out. Jordan has it, and away go the Hurricanes. You're looking at Justin Falk. A lead pass unattainable for Alex Semin. Brooks Orpik now is back, having a great first year in D.C. Centering feed by Semin, who is upended, and Carolina will go to the power play.
Semin, a big body, but he's never really been a guy that's going to deliver a big hit. But when you're the first man on the forecheck, the F1 in hockey terms, you can still create a lot of confusion without finishing a body. So he creates enough on Orpik, and Orpik thereafter is guilty of the trip, the hook, whatever they're going to call it. And Carolina's red hot power play is going to go to work. Boy, did they ever score a beautiful first period goal on a Falk one-timer. And Barry Trotz's special teams have both had a tough time of late, although his kill was good against Pittsburgh Wednesday.
Carolina is 6 out of 15 with their power play in the last 5, and Washington has killed off 14 out of 17 in the same time period. Carolina checks in tied for 13th with their power play, number 6 at home. Duke Energy brings us power play notes, as they always do. You see the killing numbers for Washington. They are also 20th on the road. Eric Staal. Niskanen breaks it up. It's knocked down by Staal, but forged out by Troy Brouwer.
I thought Justin Falk, his entries, he's had so much more confidence coming up the ice. He's the guy that carries the puck. He's keeping pucks in. He's always moving. He was on the back door the other night. Then all of a sudden he's there for a one-timer to score.
Justin Falk now will scale it hard around. Rask gives chase. Niskanen there for the Caps, and now Nestrashil. At the point, top of your screen, Justin Falk. Inside it goes. Lindholm, a give back. Falk now controls it. He'll wrist one right on. Good stop by Holtby. A rebound. Eric Stahl's bid blocked by Carl Alsner, and he ties it up.
Boy, the details of the game. Justin Falk, when you get to the middle, your options really go up maybe tenfold. And here he gets to the middle. Look at the head up. And he just finds a way to get it through. And Nestrashil has a net front presence. Because of that, there's a lively rebound. So much of that is Justin Falk just finding a way to get it through. No Yuri Tlusty. Nestrashil is going to get the first chance to create the net front that Yuri did on the man advantage.
John Michael Lyles thinks about a shot. Here's Mikhail Jordan. His bid kicked out with a purpose a couple of times by Braden Holtby. It's loose. Nicholas Backstrom in control, and out they come. He's choked off. The ice cut in half on him by Jordan Staal. Carolina reorganizes. Here's Jordan. 24-year-old defenseman will clear it in. Holtby out to tend to it. He'll handle it. He does it well, and it's dumped out by John Carlson.
How good of a play was that? Gets back with a purpose on the wraparound because that was a hard rim. thinking about clearing it himself and then calls an audible halfway through his release to make a tape-to-tape pass for an easy clear.
And he reminds me of the great Tom Barrasso when he does things like that. Now it's sped in. Who might have been the best at it. Now along the boards. Skinner in control. It pops out. In deep. Alsner gets to it. Loose along the boards. Washington an attempt to get it out. They can't. Jordan. One-timer denied by Holtby off the stick of Skinner. It's loose. Niskanen will hunt it down by John Michael Lyles all the way down to Hudobin.
Boy, if Jordan could have just passed that puck with a little bit more pace. You know, Skinner would have to get lower to the ice to make sure he gets the one-timer through, but that gave Holtby a chance to get across. The pass wasn't hard enough.
Here's Jay McClement, who scored Tuesday against Philadelphia, defended by Mike Green. It's loose and out of the corner. Along the boards now, knocked down by Patrick Dwyer. Taking a spill was Marcus Johansson. He recovers, not out though. Dwyer, Malone, his shot blocked by Mike Green, and it's tipped out of play. 8:55 left to go in the opening period. Holtby and the Caps kill it off. We're scoreless here in Raleigh. Semin hits the ice, coming off a very good performance here against Philadelphia on Tuesday.
It's the little details that make a big difference in your impact on the game. And let's look at a little detail. Semin, this is a control breakout on a power play. That's him circled. Watch him go to the front of the net. So many nights when he's not on his game, he'd stay on the perimeter, on the outside of the dot. But instead, he goes right with a purpose to the front of the net. He actually calls for the puck. Falk again gets it through. We saw that a few minutes ago. Because of that, Zepp, the goaltender, can't control it, and Jordan Staal scores. Semin goes to the net. Good things happen.
You see the shot differential, Carolina by 6 early, and 4 of those 7 shots on the last power play. Justin Falk is pestered by Alexander Ovechkin. He gets it back out to neutral ice. Here's Jordan Staal, a handoff for Semin, denied by Brooks Orpik. Ovechkin drops it off to Backstrom. Here they come. Nicholas Backstrom holding onto it. He'll cradle to the wall. He'll wind it deep. Eric Staal back checking for the Hurricanes. Loose along the boards. It's John Carlson. Carlson in control. Now back of the goal. In control with it now and dangling here. Marcus Johansson back to the point. Backstrom is covering up. Johansson winds it all the way back again. Carlson out in front. Nobody home. Nicholas Backstrom, top of your screen, gets to it. Backstrom had it poked off his stick, and it's played here by Justin Falk as the Hurricanes survive and get it out.
Well, we continue to see strength versus strength. The Jordan Staal centered line against the Backstrom centered line. Of course, Hainsey and Justin Falk on the back end. Watching two of the youngest, most encouraging American-born defensemen, Carlson and Falk. That's going to be fun, too.
Andrei Burakovsky broken up here by Tim Gleason. Jay Beagle, who did not play Wednesday night, tried to keep it in. Getting to it here is Mikhail Jordan. He takes a punishing hit from behind from Tom Wilson. And a penalty is called by the veteran referee, the veteran of the two. It's Paul Dvorsky, I believe.
Paul Dvorsky worked Game 7 when Cam Ward won the Stanley Cup as the last line of defense for the Hurricanes against the Oilers. There's Dvorsky. Gets out of the way. Jordan turns, and Wilson still looks to finish his hit. Wilson is a very physical player. I think anybody would say, even though Jordan turns, Wilson had time. It's just a minor.
The former Plymouth Whaler, Mr. Wilson, was a first-round pick in 2012, 16th overall, and has 119 minutes in penalties. That leads Barry Trotz's team in that regard. He gets a 2-minute minor for boarding at 12:27.
Caps got in huge penalty trouble in the second period against Pittsburgh, and they really never recovered. They've gotten in some trouble here in the first.
Off the face-off, Victor Rask. Eric Staal, side of the goal. Andrei Nestrashil to the outside of Karl Alsner. Out of that scrum, it pops out. Getting to it is Victor Rask. Pummeled by Falk wide, and it's laid now in the center zone by Rask. Carolina is offside. We get a whistle. Should the Canes score in the power play tonight, Caniacs who say the winning phrase receive a free Bowberry biscuit from participating Bojangles restaurants tomorrow morning. Bojangles, it's bow time.
I just thought about something. Going all the way back to when Olaf Kolzig used to come in this building. Olaf Kolzig, Michael Neuwirth, Semyon Varlamov when he was on Washington, Philip Grubauer, recently Braden Holtby. How many times have we seen Caps goaltenders come in, hold the fort early, and Washington ends up winning the game? Because of that, I think this is a very important early power play.
The Capitals have won 5 straight in this building, and they have been dominant against Carolina in the last 11, 9 up and 2 down here in Raleigh. Justin Falk in control. Elias Lindholm with a bid wide of a screened Holtby. Getting to it is Justin Falk. Inside it goes, denied by John Carlson, and held in by Falk. Stolen again by Carlson. Now he kills time.
In all situations player, Carlson is. Big part of the kill here. You'll see him on the first unit of the usually lethal Washington man advantage.
Falk now will quarterback out to center ice. Handed off as they gain entry. Swept out of the zone that time. A good job by Jason Chimera, and it comes back.
Yeah, and that's why I said this is a very consequential time in the game, because the script has been the same in Washington's final quarter here. Excellent goaltending early, couple early power plays for Carolina. They find a way to get through it, and then they usually become opportunistic.
Jordan Staal, John Michael Lyles. At his side, Jeff Skinner. He'll dart. All the way across, but behind Jordan. Mikhail Jordan. Furthered by Jordan Staal. Skinner, top of your screen in the slot. A give back. All the way around Jordan. Here it is. Blocked. Matt Niskanen had the block for Washington. Jordan. Now Semin dangles away from Niskanen. He gets help from Jordan Staal. Around the kick plate it goes for Skinner. A drop off for Semin. In the high slot, he stays with it. Alexander Semin controlling. Here's Lyles. This way, Jordan one more time. One-timer fanned on by Skinner. Skinner keeps it ahead. Jordan Staal goes to work on Niskanen. He gets back up. He sets up his man in back of the goal and moving with it here. Jeff Skinner, he turns off bodies. Knocked down and cleared out by Joel Ward.
Skinner actually told me this morning, he said, because he scored a goal off of the Semin pass against the Flyers on his natural side as a left shot, he says it's easier for him to be able to locate pucks on his natural side than here is offside. And you see case in point right there. A lot of players, much easier to one-time the puck. To be able to do so, you have to get lower to the ice. I don't think Jeff was as low as he wanted to be there, but he's been hot.
Military salute in the building here. Always great to see. You see this around the National Hockey League as Carolina did not have a shot with that power play. They are now 0 for 2. Brad Malone. It pops out. McClement leaves it for Dwyer. Patrick Dwyer, Brad Malone. They hack at it. Joel Ward had it, lost it. Fanned on by Jay McClement. Tom Wilson takes a hit to make a play and dumps it out. He was crunched by Malone. Now Dwyer to the outside of Olsner. He'll spin it ahead. Joel Ward coming back. Nick Backstrom handcuffed by Malone. It's loose, still fought for. McClement to the point. Falk for Carolina. Hill implant. Around the wall it goes. This way for Dwyer. Dwyer laid out by Niskanen. Malone looking for McClement. Back it goes. Here's Hainsey sweeping across for Falk. In the slot. Right in on Holtby, who denies out of the corner. Dwyer is tied up by Niskanen as Washington's having a tough time in their own zone here. Joel Ward tied up with a forecheck. He sets up Tom Wilson, and finally the Caps get it out.
How many times has Falk gotten pucks to the front of the net? Just making sure to get it there. I mean, it's usually just a simple little wrist, or if anything, just a brief snapshot.
Marcus Johansson moving wide of Nathan Gerby to the corner. He sets up Backstrom off his stick. It's Mike Green. His shot pinballs out of play, and we get a stoppage. 4:03 left to go in the opening period. Carolina dominating the shot chart. 8-1 over Washington. We're still goalless.
Well, almost 2 weeks ago, we were able to enjoy Mikhail Jordan's first NHL goal in a game in Ottawa. For the 24-year-old, what a chance this is. The Slovak Sekera departs. Jordan really has the opportunity with his ability to move the puck, to take a hit, to make a play, his offensive instincts, to make the jump to the NHL. It's right there for him on the platter. This is the chance he's been waiting for in the American Hockey League the last several years.
The trades of Andrej Sekera and Yuri Tlusty have cleared the deck for a player like that, and up front for a guy like Andrei Nestrashil.
Yeah, as I mentioned, he gets the chance for the net front presence. Nestrashil is a versatile player like Tlusty was. I think that's one of the reasons the Jets probably liked him, is he can play either wing. Nestrashil can play all three forward positions.
Yuri played last night, played well in a shootout loss against the St. Louis Blues. An excellent hockey game now. Forged ahead that time and fed deep by Alex Semin. Alex Ovechkin moves it. Played here by Jordan Staal. controlled by Mike Green and back out to neutral ice. Out of the reach of Nick Backstrom. Justin Falk for Semin, a chip. It lay loose as we see. Green's on it. Darting in Backstrom. For Ovechkin, a good back check by Jordan Stahl and a shoulder on number 8.
Green's had a good first period. There's some speculation that the Caps are looking for a stay-at-home left shot to play with the puck-moving defenseman who maybe not what he was a few years ago, but playing well tonight.
Centering pass. Hudobin said no on Nicholas Backstrom. Ovechkin. Backstrom dangling. Shot taken by Carlson, deflects wide. Now Ovechkin out of the corner. Nobody home out in front. Broken up by Eric Stahl. And the Canes can rethink. Eric starts his engine out to center ice away from Troy Brouwer. Brooks Orpik is paired on defense. The guy who has the puck is John Carlson. Kuznetsov broken up by Victor Rask. Here come the Canes. All the way across. A tip by Chimera before it got to Nestrashil. Out of the corner. Andre Nestrashil. Victor Rask. To the point it's Brett Belmore walking the line. A wrister. They score! Traffic out in front from Andre Nestrashil, and Carolina is off and running.
Just talked about Andre Nestrashil, the net front presence he needs to bring. Watch him come to the front of the net, and Belmore does the rest. Excellent work in the corner. Victor Rask does a nice job indirecting it back to Belmore. The stop and start, and Nestrashil takes away the eyes of Braden Holtby. Goaltender can't hear a wrist shot coming through. You've got that big eclipse in front of you from the Czech Republic. Getting this opportunity in Andre Nestrashil, all important first goal.
Brett Belmore through 32 games is a +2. He'll add to that. Why do I say that? Because he is one of the few players on the Hurricanes above the even plateau. They've had a tough season in terms of goal differential, but Belmore from the point eludes Braden Holtby. And the Canes get the payoff for out shooting Washington 9-2 in the early going. Out to center, Joel Ward picked off by Belmore. On the wing, the Cane tried to get it deep that time. That was Riley Nash, and it's broken up. Victor Rask, along with Andre Nestrashil, get the assist on Brett Belmore's first goal this season at 17:21. Around the boards now, McClement coming back for the Hurricanes. In front of Hudobin, Patrick Dwyer. Just inside his own line as we see, detected by Andrei Burakovsky, wide of Hudobin, and it kicks in the screen. And now a disturbance along the boards. Brad Malone getting involved, along with everybody else.
Yeah, I think Malone, it may be Malone and Wilson. You know, Wilson going back to that hit on Jordan, and Malone, if anybody's going to stand up to Wilson, it's going to be Malone. We'll take a look here in front. I think it's Brett Belmore's goal. Still, it doesn't happen without Nestrashil. Nestrashil, it looks like goes underneath the shaft of Andre Nestrashil and beats Holtby on the glove side.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's Brett Belmore's goal, who once again missed the morning skate due to an illness, and the Hurricanes, I think, will be shorthanded for the first time tonight.
1:40 on the clock, and that's why Brad Malone gets a tripping penalty at the end of that sequence. 18:20 is the time of it. Washington's power play, number 3 in the NHL. And Washington in the last 5, 6 out of 23. Carlson at the point, paired with Ovechkin, and he's one option, and a great one at that. He has 18 of his 39 goals on the power play, and the 18 leads the league.
They spent all of Tuesday's practice working on the power play, including faceoffs and entries. So, you know, they're really trying to bear down. Chimera has been put in the front of the net on this top unit. That's an adjustment here for the Caps.
70 seconds left in the period. Here's Nicholas Backstrom, denied by Patrick Dwyer. Chimera sneaks in, off the outside of the post, and Hudobin recovers.
Yeah, I was talking to Steve Smith, who of course handles the penalty-killing chores, and the Caps have become a little bit less predictable with their entries, but it typically always involves this guy, Backstrom. And even though he's still involved in that, and Chimera with his terrific speed takes advantage of a broken play and comes in. You may not think he's accelerating, but he moves so quickly. He just ran out of room.
63 seconds left in the period. Here's Ovechkin. A wrister blocked in front. Chimera whacks at it to the outside. Backstrom. Now Carlson. His shot tipped by Dwyer. It goes high. Ovechkin wins the battle. Brouwer turns it this way for Backstrom. Nicholas Backstrom holding onto it from the wall. 45 seconds left in the period. Backstrom now surveys. Calmly holding onto it. 46 assists. Now Chimera shut down by Hudobin. Not out. Held in by Carlson. 34 seconds left in the period. Nicholas Backstrom slowly moves in. Guarded by John Michael Lyles. Backstrom in control. One-timer. Carlson goes wide. Ovechkin off the wall. Has it. Here's Backstrom. He'll delay. Carlson. It goes high and wide through a screen. In control. John Michael Lyles. They kill time.
Pretty good there, clogging the lanes from Carolina. Usually when you miss that, that's the case. But again, a classic example of Backstrom distributing to the puck to different places. Best half-wall guy in hockey.
Johansson with a shot, stinging Hudobin at the horn. Washington has 21 seconds left on the power play. We'll hear from the captain. Eric Staal will be Tripp's guest. We go inside a Hurricane with Mr. 500, Cam Ward. That's the PNC Bank first intermission, and a good start tonight here in Raleigh. Brett Belmore has the goal. The Canes, a 1-0 lead. Back in the capital city, that is Brett Belmore, who has Carolina's only goal. We start the second period, and the only goal of the game, Washington on a power play as we start the second period. John Forsland, Tripp Tracy, Chantel McCabe at ice level, along with our fine crew here at PNC Arena. Canes get the New York Islanders tomorrow. John Carlson shot, tipped high by Patrick Dwyer. Soccer styled ahead by Nicholas Backstrom. Winning a battle away from Ovechkin was Justin Falk, but it's held in by Mike Green. At the expiration of the power play, Hudobin makes the save and sweeps across the rebound. And that great opportunity for Washington.
Yeah, got his stick on the ice. When you move, sometimes it's not there, and that can result in a puck swiveling through. So a good mechanical play there.
Mike Green over the line. Washington had 2 shots with their only power play so far. Brett Belmore from Victor Rask and Andre Nestrashil at 17:31 of period 1. It trickles in on Braden Holtby. Brad Malone to the outside. A chip that time by Alexander Semin. Getting to it is Tim Gleason. Center zone. Semin starts ahead. He had 7 shots here against Philadelphia in a 4-1 win on Tuesday night. Now Mikhail Jordan. Tim Gleason, a quick up for Jordan Staal. Here's Eric over the line. He's in. He'll delay. Defended by Niskanen a couple of times. Jordan Staal gets to it, and Carolina can reorganize.
Yeah, just a slight hesitation, and Niskanen handles it very well. Shot doesn't happen. Good pace to start this period.
Eric Staal forechecking hit on Matt Niskanen, loose to the corner. Dug out, picked off by Washington's Brooks Laich, and away they go. Joel Ward, a lead pass intended for Laich. And don't forget, during this period, after the first commercial timeout, Cam Ward from the bench. We're talking over his night here as we commemorate 500 games out in front. To the outside, Jay Beagle holding onto it for the Caps. Up top it goes Carlson. Here it comes, swallowed by Hudobin. Let's take a look at the first period numbers brought to you by Buffalo Brothers. Oh man, now I want wings.
Canes had the edge. They needed something to show for it. And that's why the Belmore goal with the Nestrashil screen was so important. I want to show a quick little thing that if you're a young penalty killer watching, watch Patrick Dwyer. All right, puck hits, he thinks that part of his stick. You see the way he leans on his stick? Don't lean on that stick, because if you break it when you lean on it, you can't use it. Even if a stick is partially broken, if you don't know it, you can keep playing it. Even just having a stick that isn't 100% can, really results in passes not getting through. Corey Stillman mentioned that once to me, and it's absolutely true.
Jack Hillen now defending for Washington. A steal by Carolina's Victor Rask. Nathan Gerby through the blue and out. Here's John Michael Lyles, who's playing his 700th game tonight. Nestrashil for Gerby. His pass never got there. Wrap chance denied by the combination of Hillen and Holtby. Holtby again denies Nestrashil. Washington escapes harm and back out to center. Andre Burakovsky gets a little help from Jay Beagle. Now a steal. Burakovsky, the rookie, holding onto it to the outside off the stick of Belmore. Out of the corner, Evgeny Kuznetsov. With Burakovsky as they get after it in back of Hudobin. Out of the 4-man scrum, it's Carolina's Victor Rask. Choked off by Troy Brouwer. Belmore has it, and Carolina sends it back.
Burakovsky and Kuznetsov are two of the players Barry Trotz talked to you and I this morning about that the Caps have such high hopes for, and he's trying to develop in the best possible manner.
He wants to see both his centers someday, but not now. Too early for that. Although Kuznetsov is centering here tonight. Chimera handcuffs Hudobin, and it stays out. Brouwer to the point. Orpik, his shot, looking for a tip, none available. Getting to it is Jeff Skinner, and the Hurricanes get out of dodge. Here's Lindholm all the way across. Mikhail Jordan on the off wing. His shot easily detected by Braden Holtby.
Well, some chances at both ends. First, Nestor Schilly, he plays a simple game. Watch him pick up this puck after Gerby drives the net. Just throws it at the net. Nearly banks it home, and he has not only Gerby, but Rask driving the net, so that's good. Now let's watch Hudobin. Yeah, he should have been able to handle that puck with his stick coming out. So he really created a mess for himself and recovered very, very nicely, and he's been perfect so far.
Washington has lost their last two, but since December 4th are 23-9-6. Shot taken from the flank goes wide, hammered by Alexander Semin. Getting to it is Justin Falk.
Yeah, Barry, we were talking about our conversation with Barry Trotz. Huge improvement this year for Washington in their success in one-goal games. I mean, it's been maybe even bigger than a huge improvement when you look at how they fared in those games in the last many years. In contrast, this year, very good.
Carolina 12-7-3 since the 1st of January. Now it's tipped in by Alex Ovechkin. Hudobin out to play it. Here's Ron Hainsey playing on the first pairing tonight with Justin Falk after the trade of Andrei Sekera. Marcus Johansson over the line, pulls up the trailer. Ovechkin denied with a purpose by Hudobin. Getting to it, Jordan Staal, and away they go. Here's his brother Eric. Eric over the line, cuts, holds onto it, moves it across. There's Semin off a stick high, off Mike Green. Loose to the boards. Belmore creeps in for Carolina. Inside it goes for Jordan Staal. He'll move on Mike Green. Jordan now wheels a bit of a cycle here. Little stutter step, holding onto it. Diagonally across, Lyles. The tip chance goes astray. Looking for that tip out in front from Brad Malone. Belmore had it, lost it. And now getting to it is Marcus Johansson, but not out. Belmore a keep. He'll settle it down low. Up top, Malone. He'll hand it off. Here's Lyles. His shot goes wide. With some traffic out in front. And hustling across was Belmore, but Washington got it out.
And Belmore, I said in the first period, he has a goal. He didn't skate this morning due to an illness. Sometimes when you're not 100%, you play better.
Canes had two players not partake in the morning skate. He along with Eric Staal with an illness too. Now Joel Ward neutralized Brooks Light. He'll swing it across for Orpik. Over the line, Eric Fair defended by Pat Dwyer. Fair now stays with it. Looking for Ward. Joel Ward flushed out by Gleason. Joel Ward to the point man. Niskanen, his shot blocked in front. It went off McClement and Fair, but it's held in. Here's Niskanen holding. Shooting one. Blocked in front. Hack and whack time. Hillen a shot off a body wide. Off Joel Ward. Centered by Fair. Broken up at the D. Like back to the point. Here's Jack Hillen. Turning with it, Eric Fair. One-timer Like. Great save through traffic by Hudobin. Loose along the boards now. Poked along by Jay McClement as the Hurricanes feverishly try to get it out. Dwyer tied up by Hillen. Pinned along the boards is Brooks Light by Tim Gleason. As it pops out, Niskanen cradles away from Malone. Inside it goes. McClement on the back check for Carolina. Has it. And a nice play on a line change by Jay Beagle. Joel Ward looks for Beagle. In back of the goal, Jordan for Carolina. Burakovsky to the point. Here's Niskanen now. Hillen. Jack Hillen, a wrister. Fought off and covered by Anton Hudobin. 13:51 left to go in the second period as Tempers Flair and Tim Gleason is in the middle of it all, along with Washington's Tom Wilson on the other side of the break. We'll go live to the bench. We'll hear from the man commemorating 500 games played tonight, Cam Ward, right after this. We're back here in Raleigh as we see Cam Ward. And Cam, as I said earlier tonight, I'm not sure if this is going to be a highlight of your career, but we'll take some of your time anyway. Congratulations on the night. And during the break, a lot of these messages upstairs, you just saw one from Rod Brindamore. What do these things mean to you?
Well, it means a lot. You know, they're coming from people that, I have a lot of respect for. And, just with the last one with Roddy and the things that he said means a lot to me. Obviously I look up to him, coming into this league, and, it means a lot.
Well, you won him his only Stanley Cup, Cam. He searched for it his entire career.
Wait a minute.
Ron Hainsey,
One
what's he
conversation
saying?
at a
What is
time
Ron
here.
Hainsey saying?
We're catching him by surprise here. You know, I said it's a day in the life of Trip Tracy right now, so I got to get the headset on and see what it's like.
I thought he was going to talk about if he's enjoying playing with Falk, but you won Rod that Stanley Cup, so of course you're going to be number one in his
I
in
didn't
his
win
mind.
that Stanley Cup.
Well,
No, we didn't.
it's a team sport, but I certainly think you gave the team life in Game 3 in Montreal. What a first career playoff start.
Thank you. Well, don't argue with our man, otherwise we'll toss the headsets aside. It comes all the way back. Lyles now. Burakovsky here for Washington. Cam Ward joining us, and we'll keep him for at least a period and a half. Now it comes all the way in. It goes behind Braden Holtby. Burakovsky has it on a goal by Brett Belmore. Carolina with a 1-0 lead.
Cam, that last commercial break, Hudobin did a good job of getting a whistle, you know, with the long second period change. When you know guys are tired, do you look that much more to get that type of whistle?
Oh, absolutely. You know, they got a lot of guys that can really buzz in the offensive zones, and it creates, you know, some long shifts. So anytime they can get a whistle to give guys a break, it's a good job.
Okay, Cam, we've talked about this a million times, but let's do it again because it was so stylish. Tell us about your first win and the shootout in particular.
Yeah, I'll never forget it. You know, playing against the Pittsburgh Penguins and one of the all-time greats in Mario Lemieux. You know, I was really looking at these highlights right there. I'm just living my childhood dream, and to have it end the way that it did was really cool.
And what did Lemieux say to you early in the first period again when a scrum was going on?
It wasn't. He didn't say anything. He just gave me a pat with his stick, and I took it as like kind of a welcome to the NHL kind of moment, and pretty neat coming from a guy like that.
We have a tripping penalty called up top. Gislan Hebert makes the call as the puck came all the way back into the Carolina zone. 12:54 left to go in this second period. And Alexander Semin in the vicinity of the penalty box will take a seat. And Washington will get their second power play.
We'll take a look at it. Cam, your penalty killing has been outstanding. Maybe in a second we'll ask you. You can just see the encounter between Backstrom and Semin. We heard from your old goalie coach who was very influential in your career, Tom Barrasso. We mentioned in the first period that he said he's so happy to see you back having fun, Cam. And I want to ask you, you have it on your stick. When you're not having fun, how do you get back to it? Because every young player needs to continue to have fun at every level he plays at.
Well, yeah, I mean, just the fact that you're playing a game for a living. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, there's a lot worse things happening in this world, and you know, you lose sight of that. You know, we're very fortunate as hockey players to be playing the game of hockey for a living, and you should never forget about that.
Matching penalties were called. Alexander Semin along with Nicholas Backstrom. Backstrom for tripping. Semin gets the penalty for embellishing at 7:06. So it creates a 4-on-4 situation for $1.45 now. Here's Eric Stahl with a shot, handled by Braden Holtby, and the Capitals are on it.
Cam, what's the biggest reason you've improved your puck handling so much to the point where it's a big-time strength in your game?
Well, I think it all started with Tom Barrasso, to be honest with you. He was a guy that he played the puck a lot in his career and had the assist to show for it in his points total. So, and it's just a matter of having to read. You know, I think it helps when you have good chemistry with your defense, and I feel like you know, you don't have to do a whole lot of talking. Guys know what or anticipate what I'm going to do, and it's more of a read than anything.
Well, pretty good company here as you see the active goaltenders, and you are now one of 65 goalies in the history of the game who have reached this mark. And I guess, you know, this is not a swan song for Cam Ward. This is the prime of your career, but still has to be special for you.
It's really special, you know. It's kind of funny you said that because it's almost like I feel like I'm retiring or something.
I know.
But, you know, yeah, I feel like I got a lot of hockey left in me. You know, to be in the same category as those other goaltenders that you just put in there is great. But, you know, I want to keep it going. I feel like I can play a lot more in this league.
There's no doubt about that. Ron Hainsey now coming back. Paired on defense with Justin Falk. Falk in control. Carolina with a 1-0 lead. 4-on-4 situation for 50 more seconds. Carolina offside as they cross that line. We'll take a look at some special moments from tonight's warm-up.
Well, Cam, your wife Cody and your kids, there's your mom Laurel, and I don't know where your dad Ken is in the vicinity. This was in warm-ups. What was it like to have them out there for the ceremony?
Well, it was great. I think I scared my daughter there, Nyla, just a little bit. She was a little bit scared. I know that Ron Hainsey threw a shot of puck over there, and that forever she'll be scared. But to have them come out to center ice was really special for me, because obviously I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for their love and support, and I'm thankful for that.
Voice of Cam Ward, kind enough to join us from the bench. Tim Gleason shot off the blocker of Holtby, played here by Victor Rask. Good stick by John Carlson coming back, and you see the time left in terms of the 4-on-4.
I know it's a team sport, Cam. You just want to win the cup, but what other individual milestones? You won the Conn Smythe, but are there any that would be particularly meaningful for you off the top of your head?
Well, I mean, I want to do it again.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy is right, Mr. Ward. Right off the medal, Victor Rask.
Now I'm
Continue.
Just thinking about the Stanley Cup, yes, I won it early in my career, but, I think I would appreciate it a lot more if I were to get back there again. So definitely a goal to get back in that situation again.
Victor Rask now had that great scoring chance. He'll slide it in. Carolina gets a change.
Anybody that watches the games, Cam, knows I think Victor Rask's upside is immense. Do you agree he had that chance just now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's such a calm, smooth type of player that has very good vision on the ice, and with his age, he's only going to get better, and that's exciting for the organization.
Nicholas Backstrom lays it along for a curling Alex Ovechkin, who lost his edge. Riley Nash back for Carolina. Gets help here from Mikhail Jordan, who comes all the way back. And just about halfway through, Carolina with a 1-goal lead as they get it back out to neutral ice. Skinner 10-2 with the skates. Here he comes. Good defense by Jack Hillen. Flushing him out, and back of the goal, Nash. Tied up by Brooks Orpik. Elias Lindholm holding onto it, stopping and starting. Lindholm, Nash in tight. He's defended by Orpik. Good hustle by Lindholm. Skinner!
Yeah.
Jeff Skinner! 6 goals in its last 8. Carolina up by 2.
Skinny boy.
Let's watch Skinner on the goal line, Cam. Gets to the slot. Tell me what you thought here. You know what? Lindholm gave him the pass, and you've had an ongoing debate about which one of those two guys has the best release on the team, haven't you?
Well, that's a real good debate because they both got tremendous shots, and you just saw it there with Skins.
How are their releases different as they team up on that goal? Boy, that's the youth right there.
Well, when I think of them two, I think, they're sticks. Skins has a completely different curve with a short blade, and Lindy's got more of a curve, which makes it a little bit more difficult to read where it's going.
Back in the Carolina zone, 9:20 left in the second period. Alzner for Niskanen. His shot handled by Hudobin. Jay Beagle's on it. He'll take it to the outside now. Back of the goal, Jason Chimera's tied up. Jeff Skinner is 16th from Elias Lindholm and Riley Nash at 10:15. Along the boards, Tom Wilson. Jay Beagle on and off his stick. 11 minutes gone in the second period. Pressure by Washington. Chimera, wrap chance denied by Anton Hudobin. Niskanen covering up at the point. Beagle, he'll look around. His shot off sticks goes astray. Coming down is Brad Malone. They get it by Alzner and back out.
What do you like most about that goal, Cam?
The finish. I mean, we've been getting a lot of opportunities. It's just a matter of putting the puck in the net, and when you get that opportunity, you got to snap it, and Skins did that.
What makes a guy that, I guess I hate to say all Swedish and no finish, it's cliche, but what separates the guys that have good chances that you can make those stops from the true natural goal scorers?
What makes the difference if I save it?
No. From the guys that can finish and the guys that get the chances but don't.
Well, I think it's just, their quickness, and their release. You get the opportunities, you get grade A chances, and you're going to have them, but it's about, the quickness of the way that you take that release.
Here's the captain, and Holtby, I believe, got a piece of it now. Gleason. Inside again, Eric Stahl. Back for Tim Gleason. This way it's Belmore. Holding. Shooting one. Blocked in front. It kicks around. Good play by Carlson.
Boy, Cam, you're going to have to put the headset on when you play with the types of chances you guys are getting. I mean, Skinner gets one. Your buddy, the captain, does. You want to do that?
We're bringing some good luck, but no, I think this is not for me. I'd like to go back out there.
I hear you. Now Jordan Stahl. Alex Semin floats it across for Gerby. Broken up. Backstrom, a lead pass. It's Andrei Burakovsky. He'll pull up. Hit a man late. What a stop by Hudobin! Off the stick of Mike Green as it comes back out to center. Jack Hillen sends it in.
I meant that you wear the headset when you play and make saves like that, Cam. What did you like most about that Hudobin stop?
His flexibility and his read. You know, the all-man rush, you got to anticipate, and made a great save.
Nathan Gerby denied by Braden Holtby. It's one chance after another. As we come back out to center ice, here's Ovechkin. He'll cut. Defended beautifully. Rask. Indirect pass. It's Mestrashil. Here he comes. His shot. Fought off. Holtby had it. Lost it. Skinner's on it. Out in front for Rask. Skinner all over the ice with a backhand block. Turning Rask off bodies. Off Niskanen. Swept along by Alzner. The crowd loves it.
Pace look as fast down there as it does up here, Cam. It's been a quick period.
No, I think it looks a lot faster down here. But yeah, it's kind of been back and forth.
Here's Chimera. Floating one rejected by Falk. Transition time for the Hurricanes. It's Skinner. He's defended by Orpik. Now Carlson. It goes by Nash. Chimera sends it all the way across. They cross the line. Brouwer with a shot. It sails high off the backside of the goal, possibly in the screen. That'll do it. Number 30, you're a class act. Thanks for doing this.
All right, thanks, guys.
Cam Ward, congratulations on 500. He congratulates that man, Jeff Skinner, who has made it 2-0 Carolina. Raleigh late in the second period. Jeff Skinner scoring his 16th goal of the season has made it 2-0 Carolina. And most Caniacs know all about number 30, but take a look at some of the credentials here. Now the 64th goaltender to play in the 500 games, one of two active goalies to win the Conn Smythe as the playoff MVP, the other being Jonathan Quick of the Los Angeles Kings.
John, if you give me a minute, I have a stat here. This is pretty good. Since 2006-2007, the Hurricanes are 227, 181, and 55 when Cam Ward starts, and 86, 107, and 25 when he doesn't start. So I'm going to quickly do some math here. Maybe the mathematicians can help. Let me simplify. Substantially above 500 when he starts, significantly below 500 when he doesn't. And so even though the playoffs haven't happened as regularly as Cam would want, we all want, you look, he gives them a chance to win. And for teams that haven't made the postseason, that's a pretty impressive mark when you put it all together.
And he is scheduled to start tomorrow night on Long Island against the New York Islanders, who are also playing tonight with a 1-0 lead late in the second period at home against Calgary. We will start here with Hurricanes Live at 4:30. Matt Niskanen for Carl Alzner. Alzner coming back in his own zone. 5:35 left in the second period. Brett Belmore and Jeff Skinner have scored both goals tonight. Along the boards, Eric Fair had it, lost it. Alzner now retreating in his own zone. He'll go D to D for Matt Niskanen. Signed as a free agent during the summer. Handcuffing Joel Ward, and it kicks out. Washington has lost their last two games against Philadelphia and Pittsburgh.
Well, you look at Washington. I think their biggest need is they need a second-line center. I'm going to talk to some people. If he wasn't out for the year, I think Martin Hansel, another big body, they have a big group, might have been somebody in Arizona that they were after. They're definitely playing, and we talked to Barry Trotz about this, they're playing more of a heavy game that will give them a chance in the postseason.
All right, we'll step aside late in the second period. You see the goal scorers. Back with more right after this.
There's no break.
Okay, we are back. That was a short one. Now out in front. It comes all the way across. Played here by Eric Stahl. Goes off the stick of Ovechkin and Stahl, and it goes out of play. Now we're in the commercial zone. So now we'll make some money, we hope. We're back right after this.
Not us.
Not us. Never us. At PNC Arena, and this season they have installed a state-of-the-art lighting system using LED technology developed and manufactured by Durham One, NC-based pre-incorporated for great looks in-house. And the Canes, with 4:49 left in the second period, thanks to his 16th goal of the season, have a 2-0 lead.
This nice run that Skinner's on, look at where all the goals have come from. They're all on the inner portion of the two dots in the attacking zone. He's getting to the dirty areas. We talked to Cam Ward about what separates a guy that creates scoring chances, but maybe isn't a natural goal scorer. Well, the one thing that, ties them together, goal scorers, non-goal scorers, the only chance you have is if you get to those high-scoring areas.
Great stuff from Cam Ward tonight, honored before the game for 500 games played. It comes all the way back. We'll have part 2 inside a Kane with Cam during the second intermission tonight. Ron Hainsey goes deep. Eric Stahl now tries to move away from Matt Niskanen. Hammered by Hainsey, but seen all the way by Holtby. Falk's chance, the same situation for Braden Holtby.
I think this is another nice wrinkle and challenge for Justin Faulk. Ron Hainsey talks so much on the ice, and Hainsey, in Faulk's words, has played with everybody. So it won't be tough for him to adjust and play with Faulk. You have a righty, you have a lefty. And so for Justin, it's another, I think, opportunity to take on more of a leadership role.
We have a trade tonight, and the Chicago Blackhawks getting involved. They have acquired Kimmo Timonen from the Philadelphia Flyers for a 2015 second-round pick, as Lindholm's shot is canceled by Beagle. Lyle's bid blocked again by Beagle, and a conditional fourth-round selection in 2016.
Good return for a player who's had an excellent career, but has not played this year, coming back from that blood clot. So I think Ron Hextall will be pleased with that return, and the Hawks have certainly just improved their blue line. Johnny Oduya's out right now.
Right, he's out for a couple of weeks. The Canes will be in Chicago on deadline day. Canes and Hawks Monday night from the UC. And a scrap. Brett Belmore and Tom Wilson in tight. Wilson's a tough cookie, and so is Belmore. A couple of body blows by both. Wilson with a couple of rights. Belmore switches on Wilson, and Wilson hammers away. The linesmen move in.
Well, I'm going to look. They're both products of the Plymouth Whaler Ontario Hockey League organization. Belmore played 4 seasons there. Based on the age differential, I'm not sure that they would have ever crossed paths. We'll check on that. They may have played 1 year together. But I think we should more talk about Belmore again. Sick this morning, did not skate. He's got a goal. He's kept pucks in, and now he's fighting. And we are now being told that they were not, in fact, teammates, but both hail from that group that has produced a lot of good NHLers. Wilson, this is one of the things that he's done as a first-round draft pick to make the NHL at such a young age, and that's a good fight on both fronts. The only thing I will say, what was the game that Gleason fought in the second period here at home where the Hurricanes had the lead? It was a recent game. You don't want to give the Caps life. You'll never be critical of a teammate for deciding to be a willing combatant in an altercation, but let's see what this does for Washington here down 2-0.
5-minute majors for fighting. Belmore for Carolina, Wilson for Washington at 16-10.
It was the game against Anaheim where Carolina had the lead 1-0 in the second period. And was it Jackman on Anaheim that fought, and the Ducks pointed to that fight as the reason for that comeback a couple of weeks ago.
There was a switch in terms of flow after that. Now we'll see here. Jordan in on Holtby, kicked out with a purpose. Gerby got to it, blocked by Kuznetsov, and it's carried out here by the Capitals. At the top of your screen is Troy Brouwer. He'll lay it ahead. Jordan coming back. Chimera's on him. They rally in back of Hudobin. To the outside, Jason Chimera. He shakes off Andre Nestrasho. Jordan turned it over. Troy Brouwer eluding the point man, Jack Hillen, and you see it come all the way down to big number 70. Braden Holtby away for Evgeny Kuznetsov. Getting to it now is Brooks Light. He'll attempt to circle away from John Michael Lyles. Kuznetsov out of the corner now. He's tied up here by Brad Malone. 17 minutes gone in the second period. John Trippin Chantilly as always tonight from PNC Arena. Out of the corner now, Lyles gets help from Nestrasho on his own end. He reverses, but the Capitals hunt it down. Ward to the point, Olsner. Olsner goes deep. Brooks Light was taken down out in front, no call. And Tim Gleason now takes a hit to make a play and elevates out. Washington hinging all the way back. The shots as you see, Carolina by 4. Belmore in the first and Skinner here in the second. Joel Ward outside the line, broken up by John Michael Lyles, carried in offside by Washington. Hey, Caniacs, catch a full hour of Carolina Hurricanes Hockey Talk with Mike Maniscalco during Coors Light, Canes Corner at the Backyard Bistro. The next one, March the 4th at 7 p.m. Special guest, Jordan Stahl.
with this his 24th game of the season coming back from a broken leg, and this in particular for me being a very fast period, Jordan Staal has skated far better than I ever thought he would. I mean, right his first shift of this period, I think he took a pass from Tim Gleason in transition. And I thought to myself, I did not think he would be skating with this type of speed coming back from that injury.
Out in front says a lot about his summer maybe, even this late. Now Backstrom out in front, cleaned up. Carolina attempting to get it out. It was Hainsey. Hudobin fights it off and covers. A quick whistle. The shot taken by Nicholas Backstrom. We'll get a face-off and maybe a good break for the Hurricanes in their own zone.
Yeah, but put yourself in Ghislain Hebert, the referee's position. He's the right side of the screen. There's no way right there that he would know that that puck scooted out the other side. It's impossible. So, you know, you can't fault the official there. It is a good break, no doubt about it, but Ghislain Hebert is right where he's supposed to be. Stephen Walcom, the director of officials, that's where he would want him to be there, and Canes catch a break.
Hebert working tonight with the veteran Paul Dvorsky. Here's Jordan Staal. His shot swallowed by Braden Holtby.
Let's look at Belmore's night. Not available for the skate. Taking away time and space early on Ovechkin beautifully. Getting a shot through with a nice stop and start move. And Nestor Schill with the screen on the first goal of the game. And it was a particularly important first goal.
Yeah.
And then the fight a few minutes ago with fellow Plymouth Whaler Tom Wilson. Good altercation.
Face-off won back by Jay Beagle. Shot back out by Niskanen. In control here is John Michael Lyles. Lyles attempting to scale it in. It's broken up. Chimera for Washington. His shot kicked out by Hudobin. Wheeled out by Lyles. It deflects into the Washington bench.
Carolina comes back with a purpose. And, you know, Hudobin has no chance, really, but to kick this puck back into the slot. And if he doesn't have these third black jerseys winning the races to the puck, and there's 1, 2, close to 3, only one Washington player in the picture, then it's 2-1.
Quick up that time from the D, from Lyles. It comes back. Niskanen on it here for Washington. Top of your screen, Brouwer getting help from Beagle. Through center ice, Chimera. He can scoot even at 35. In deep it goes, and back of the goal now. Washington on the forecheck. Beagle hands it off. Troy Brouwer. Brouwer now up top, Niskanen. Niskanen, a wrister off the pad of Hudobin and captured right out in front and dumped out of the zone by John Michael Lyles.
Well, that's just good work through traffic there. Hudobin never saw it. Gave himself a chance to put himself in position to be hit. He's been the traffic winner between the two goalies. Remember the first goal, Nestor Schill there with the puck. He's the guy that had the screen.
Tim Gleason with his head up. Indirect pass. He spots Gerby. Here he comes. His shot. Fought off by Holtby. The rebound. It's loose. Hack and whack time. Still fought for. It kicks around. It pops out. Holtby got a piece of it. And back of the goal, Victor Rask. This way he's in control. At the point, Falk. Across it goes Gleason. This way, Gerby. His shot stopped by Holtby. Getting to it is Joel Ward. And the Capitals now survive as they dance back out to center. Eric Fair sends it in.
Nestor Schill, Gerby, and Victor Rask, their work ethic, their ability to go to the front of the net, the willingness to do so has been excellent.
Brooks Laich in control, hands it off. Mike Green off a stick. He was defended that time, and a good job on the back check by Nathan Gerby. Carried out here by Victor Rask. Approaching John Carlson. 4 seconds left in the period. Washington floats it all the way back in. That'll do it.
Well, let's look at the first pass in transition, getting it up the ice in the last minute of play. As Gerby posted up at the far blue, he took a look. He saw that Victor Rask had that middle lane drive. Remember, I just showed that replay? That's not even a shot, it's a pass. The Hurricanes were first back in their own end. This line made it very interesting because of their battle to get to the front of the net. And Gleason, who started it all, he even followed up as a fourth forward there.
PNC Bank's second intermission. Jeff Skinner scoring in the second period will be Tripp's guest inside a Hurricane Part 2 with Cam Ward. Outstanding game tonight. Cam honored before the game for 500 games played, and the Hurricanes picking up where they left off Tuesday night here against Philadelphia. Brett Belmore, and that one from Jeff Skinner. Carolina 2, Washington, no score. Back inside PNC Arena as we get ready for the third period. Jeff Skinner on the right with the Second goal for the Hurricanes in period 2. Brett Belmore still has some time to serve on a fighting major. He, along with Tom Wilson of Washington. Here's Tom Wilson, the former first-round pick, as we get ready for the third period. John Forslund, Trip Tracy, Chantel McCabe at ice level. Bill Peters hungry for a win. The front end of a back-to-back situation. The Hurricanes on Long Island tomorrow night, taking on the Islanders. It'll start with Hurricanes live right here at 4:30. Washington has lost 2 in a row. They play next on Sunday at home against Toronto. Tim Gleason paired on defense with Mikhail Jordan as they go D to D. Just over 20 seconds into period 3. Gleason a quick up, moved along by Andre Nestrashil.
Kirby has 6 shots, team high and game high 6 shots. He's had 6 shots 3 other occasions this season. As I mentioned at the end of the second period, just to love the energy of that line, paying the price. Kirby, Nestrashil, and Rask.
Hey, don't forget tonight on Fox Sports Live, Big Papi. David Ortiz speaks out on A-Rod's return to baseball. Ronda Rousey, Kat Zingano face off for the last time before UFC 184. And which NASCAR driver had his car stolen before the Sprint Cup qualifying? Find out tonight on Fox Sports Live.
Yeah, he's a special man and a special athlete, just like the guy that is being honored tonight, Cam Ward. I mentioned Big Papi. Had a chance to watch a behind-the-scenes documentary of him. Pretty darn good.
Larger than life in many ways. Now it's sent along that time by the Capitals all the way in on Anton Khudobin, who's seen 18 Washington shots. Carolina with 25 on Braden Holtby. The Hurricanes had 17 of those in the second period. Out of the corner scrum now. The referee wants the boys to move the puck. Will they comply? They will. Pops out. Lyles for Carolina, tied up by Jay Beagle. Hurricanes looking for their 14th win on home ice, 23rd overall. A steal, maybe a chance. Carolina back to the house. Ron Hainsey, a good play as it's poked off the stick of Burakovsky and it comes back out.
Yeah, but Hainsey and Falk not against Ovechkin and Backstrom. So now a smart move on the road by Barry Trotz. As soon as Hainsey and Falk get off, or Hainsey's still on, Ovechkin comes on. That's the way you get the matchup. You can not get as easily away from home.
Alex Semin all the way across. In the zone, Jordan Staal nullified by Brooks Orpik. 2 former teammates in Pittsburgh. Blockered down here by Braden Holtby. Now Matt Niskanen back out to neutral ice. Alex Semin taps it along. A steal, though, by Washington. Here's Backstrom. At his side, Orpik. Sealed off by Falk to the corner. Sweep check by Semin. Stolen by Ovechkin. It encumbers John Carlson. It's brought out here by Jordan Staal, who floats ahead.
Boy, that is when you are what Justin Falk is for this team. He had about 20 seconds to recover to get back on the ice against Ovechkin.
Jordan on the attack. Up from the defense. Semin's pass broken up by Troy Brouwer, out of the reach of Alex Ovechkin. Ron Hainsey is back in his own zone. Brad Malone in control. Just about 3 minutes gone in this third period. Canes will hit the road for 2 after the Islander game tomorrow. We're at Chicago on Monday night from the United Center. Hurricanes back out to neutral ice. You're looking at Brad Malone off a body defended by Mike Green. A good look at him as he hunts it down. Laid along the boards. A drop pass by Joel Ward, captured by Brooks Light. Here's Jay Beagle. His pass interrupted by Justin Falk. A good play, and here they come. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Falk holding. Shooting one denied by Holtby. And the rebound taken care of by Mike Green, but not out. John Michael Lyles. Inside, let go by Brad Malone. Victor Rask shortening up on his stick, stolen by Washington's Mike Green, and away they go.
Tells you about the fitness of Falk. You know, he comes right back on the ice just because Ovechkin and Backstrom are there. So he didn't have your typical recovery after a shift. And he has enough energy, enough conditioning, third period of a hockey game, to make a play and lead a 2-on-1. Takes a look, passing lane's not there, so he fires the shot actually to the far side looking for a rebound. You know, he had been out against another line than Backstrom and Ovechkin. Got back to the bench. Trotz does his thing, puts out those 2. So Steve Smith running the defense would have said, Falk, you're going right back. So no time to recover, and he didn't miss a beat.
Faceoff comes out to center ice, won by Washington's Eric Fair. Let go by Ovechkin, in on Khudobin, who melts it down. We'll get a faceoff.
I mean, that's the challenge for a #1 defenseman in this league. You might think you're going back after 50 seconds. 45 to 50 seconds is probably what you want your shift length to be. You're tired. Think you have 2 or 3 shifts to, get your lungs back. But then if the matchup isn't what, say, Steve Smith and Bill Peters want, you're going right back on the ice. So your recovery time has to maybe be the best of anybody on the team. And that's why he's trained as hard as he has with Zach Parise in the summertime.
Justin Falk now will elevate that puck over the head of Carl Alsner. Steaming in, Nathan Gerby, a tight turn. Off a stick, looking for Rask, nullified by Alsner. And the Caps are on it. They sail it all the way back through the center zone, back in the Canes' end. Ron Hainsey will chug back, paired on defense, but a steal. Ovechkin, surprising Hudobin, who was ready.
Hudobin has been particularly good low. Washington's best chances have forced him to make good butterflies.
Partial break-in, Nathan Gerby with a shot. Good play by Mike Green getting back. Ovechkin out to center. Defended beautifully by Justin Falk. In control, Andre Nestrashil. The youngster now wheels along, broken up by Mike Green. Just over 4 minutes gone in this third period. Kuznetsov over the line, goes wide. His shot blocked by Gleason. Out of the corner. Evgeny Kuznetsov now. Chimera, tough angle through the blue and out. And it's whipped all the way back out to the center zone, fielded by Mike Green and sent deep.
Mike Green's been Washington's best defenseman. He's going to be a free agent.
Here's a steal. Kuznetsov will fling it wide. Back to the point, Jack Hillen. Hillen, a wrister, knocked down in front. Good play by Tim Gleason, and out they go. Gleason scoops ahead, not deep enough. Broken up by Green. Green in control, hampered by Skinner. He turns away from him and starts the breakout.
Yeah, everything Green has done. He's only played 10 and a half minutes coming into this period, but it's been assertive. He's been a difference maker offensively.
Nicholas Backstrom given a shove that time by John Michael Lyles. Lindholm, Riley Nash. A lead pass intended for Skinner, and Holtby well out will play it. Nick Zorpic coming back in his own zone. Starts over. Shots 27 Carolina. 19 taken by Washington. Brett Belmore, Jeff Skinner have the Hurricanes goals tonight. It rolls in on Anton Hudobin, who sets it up. Backstrom a steal. Nick Backstrom looking for Andrei Burakovsky. It's carried out here by Alex Semin, who just gets it deep.
Double shifting Backstrom. Again, get him away from the Falk defensive pairing.
Nicholas Backstrom over the line, looks for Troy Brouwer. Backbeat from Eric Stahl. Stahl along the boards, getting to it as Backstrom, inside it goes. Here's Brouwer, looking for Burakovsky. Burakovsky peppered by Hainsey. Brouwer, top of your screen. Wide open, Niskanen, his shot sails high. 13:56 left to go in this third period. We'll hear from Ken Ward, his dad, with Chantel McCabe, right after this.
Welcome back to the third period. Tuesday night, Cam Ward reached 500 NHL games, and his family was here to enjoy it with him. Tonight's ceremony before the game was beautiful. When you reflect back on that ceremony, what kind of flashbacks were you experiencing, taking everything in and the crowd standing up with the ovation?
I think, Chantel, what really crossed my mind was the number of people that have had an impact on Cam being able to celebrate 500 games. The loving support that he gets from his sisters, Kendra and Chelsea, and just to be out there with Cody and our grandchildren and his mother. Cam has been richly blessed by those that have come into his life and helped mold him into the person that he is. And similarly, he is an outstanding compliment to all of those that have taken time, because he's proven that he's taken his talent and he's manifested into a career that he can be proud of.
Now, we're celebrating a beautiful accomplishment, something that very few have achieved. But let's talk about the hard times. How has he persevered through in order to reach this major milestone?
Well, I think that speaks to his personality, and it speaks to his how grounded he is about the kind of person and the kind of man that he is. And this is an extension of what he does, but it doesn't completely define him. And I think that balance goes a long ways in helping transition out of the rough times.
Well, we appreciate you being here. Congratulations on the accomplishment. It all starts with the parents. Enjoy the game.
Well, I appreciate the support that he's got from the entire organization, and you're part of that, and John and Tripp, and thank you very much for having me on.
You took my toss. Up to you guys.
I'll tell you what, Barry Trotz is trying to... Thank you, Ken Ward. What an excellent, consistent citizen he's been. Part of the dad's trips, and it's always great to see him. Barry Trotz, to jumpstart his team, has split up Backstrom and Ovechkin. Carolina's going to call their timeout here, and I'm going to go back again because there have been some similarities to a game back in January. The Hurricanes were playing very well, and Bruce Boudreau, who once upon a time coached this Washington team, broke up Getzlaf and Perry, and that turned the game. Barry Trotz, maybe it's a compliment to the way that Jordan and his line have played against him, more of a compliment the way Falk has, but now Backstrom and Ovechkin are on different lines to try to get back in this hockey game.
That's the hidden thing in terms of the Stalls and what they've been able to bring defensively too, and especially Jordan down the middle. A reminder, our next telecast will be tomorrow night from Nassau Coliseum. We will say goodbye to that building. Final appearance by the Hurricanes on Long Island this season. It starts with Hurricanes Live, and it will come your way at 4:30. Face off shortly after 5. Early evening game on a Saturday night from Uniondale.
The Islanders have played the Hurricanes extremely well this season. They came in here back-to-back during one of the snowstorms, and looked terrific. And they've been one of the true feel-good stories in the league, but it's not a situation where they're resting. We're literally looking up at the monitor as they're playing the Calgary Flames. Another good story in the league right now on Long Island.
And they lead 1-0 late. Here's a chance for Niskanen. What a poke check, a sweep check by Anton Hudobin. To the point now. Johansson broke it up by Jordan Staal, and it pops out. To the middle of the ice, Backstrom. Burakovsky this way for Marcus Johansson. Johansson turns inside. Backstrom let it go. Andre Burakovsky gets after it. Crunched by Ron Hainsey. Support from Eric Staal. Along the boards, Andre Nestrashil, and Carolina gets it out. Through the center zone, they transition. Jordan goes to work. Jordan Staal muscles his man, Matt Niskanen. Along the boards, it's dug out, dumped out to dead center. Carolina, as we see it, control, shot in by Tim Gleason.
Well, Niskanen would know Jordan Stahl's tendencies. They played together in Pittsburgh.
Niskanen now, lead pass. Angled off the boards by Tom Wilson. Tim Gleason, a one-toucher through the middle. It's Gerby getting it from Nestrashil. Nathan Gerby shifts gears, centers one to the backside of the goal. Nestrashil has Rask, goes for it himself, shut down by Holtby. Out of the corner, Nestrashil on Kuznetsov. Ahead now for Chimera, and all the way back out.
Nestrashil has had an extremely effective, simple game. That's why I think Bill Peters sees such a positive future for him. It's low risk, it's heavy, and high reward.
Comes all the way back to Braden Holtby. He'll paddle along for Tom Wilson. Wilson sends it back for Jack Hillen, and they start again. Along the boards, good forechecking by the Hurricanes. Patrick Dwyer. Dwyer cuts off a stick high. McClement in control. Drops it off, a steal by Kuznetsov, and out they come.
The fourth line for Carolina scored a back-breaking goal on Tuesday night. A high feed for Jay McClement to beat Philadelphia, really take away any hopes away. Can they do it again tonight?
Brooks Orpik turns it back. Alex Ovechkin, who leads the NHL. He has over 300 shots. He leads in that category, leads in goals with 39. His team right now has been stymied by the Hurricanes with 10:58 left in regulation time.
He really hasn't had any good chances tonight, Ovechkin. We've seen some Backstrom vintage passes that have led to good chances, but Ovechkin's shot has not been the threat it typically is.
Underneath it and out, fair. Now Brouwer. Troy Brouwer poke checked at the line. That forced the offside by Justin Falk.
The defensemen are going to get involved, and let's watch Niskanen, what he does here to come down, follow the circle to create this chance. So Johansson comes in and supports. Niskanen goes to the front of the net, and it is just a surprising, really effective stick from Anton Hudobin, because Niskanen was in a position where he just couldn't see it coming.
Great play by Anton Hudobin. Shots now, as we see, favor Carolina by 10. Niskanen through the middle of the ice. The roadblock is thrown up again. Shot out of the zone by Rask. Niskanen backpedaling. Matt Niskanen shielding away from Gerby. Joel Ward for Jay Beagle, broken up by John Michael Lyles. Along the dasher all the way back. Niskanen D-to-D. Olsner. Indirect pass for Light. Bottled up. Stolen. Victor Rask. He'll go to work. His shot. Shielded along by Holtby. Back of the goal, Nestrashil. Shouldered by Beagle. Niskanen has control. Brooks Light. Center zone, Joel Ward. Double teamed by Ron Hainsey and the guy with the puck. Nathan Gerby. Gerby shot. Patted down by Holtby. Out of the corner, Gerby again. Moves it along. Johansson for Washington, greeted by Justin Falk, who's been rock solid tonight. And Nicholas Backstrom now recoils.
See the gap from Hainsey first to cause a turnover, and then Falk, tight gap at the offensive blue line.
Green shot, blocker down with a purpose by Hudobin. Alexander Semin greeted by Backstrom. Out of the corner, kicked along by Falk. Played here by Johansson. This way, turned back to the point. Backstrom for Green. Fanning on it, Backstrom. Great stop by Hudobin. Broken up by Jordan Stahl. Back out. Alexander Semin floats it in on Braden Holtby.
I know we think of the playmaking genius of Backstrom, but he can score too. And the pads, the anticipation of Anton Hudobin tonight has been sterling.
McLennan sealed off by Johansson. Here's Orpik in his own zone. Just about 11 minutes gone in this third period. Mike Green scoops the puck ahead. It comes all the way back. Lyles looking over his shoulder. Takes a hit. Malone along the boards. Digs it out. Brooks Orpik in control now. Little action in back of the play. Through center ice. Off a stick. It goes off. Kuznetsov ahead of the icing line. Hudobin. Here's Lyles. He's double teamed. Wilson got to it. Carlson a spinner wide of Hudobin. Moving up. Brooks Orpik in support. At the point. Evgeny Kuznetsov. Here it comes. It's tipped. Chimera turned out by Hudobin. Kuznetsov for Washington for Tom Wilson. Run into by Brad Malone. It comes all the way in for Jason Chimera. Cleaned up by Lyles, not out. Chimera again. High slot. Kuznetsov holding onto it. Away from Lyles. He'll put on a show. Off Hudobin. Play continues. Good pressure by the Caps. Chimera. Off McClement, not out. Here's Orpik. A spinner. It's tipped. Caught. Fought off by Hudobin. Controlled here by John Michael Lyles, and the Hurricanes survive.
And the normally sure-handed McClement couldn't get that puck out. It was right on his tape, and Anton Hudobin really did a nice job settling the troops.
Brouwer in back of the goal. Good play by Lindholm on Ovechkin. It's stopped in front. Now Brouwer in back of the net. Eric Fair to the point. Niskanen. Niskanen swings it across for Olsner. His shot blocked by Elias Lindholm. Out to neutral ice. Skinner is away. Holtby is out. Oh, mercy. Holtby aggressively coming out on Jeff Skinner.
No hesitation from Holtby. That's the key. If you hesitate, you're dead. But Skinner just about lofted that over Holtby in what would have been a highlight reel goal, his second of the night.
The goaltenders doing their thing here tonight. 7:25 left to go in this third period. 2-0 Carolina. Anton Hudobin has been theatrical. Braden Holtby had to be aggressive here on Jeff Skinner. Well, sometimes as a goaltender, you have to know when to go. And Braden Holtby did trip during this sequence.
Well, that was number one. He decided and he stuck with it. And he told me this morning, he's really been working on the girth of his left Achilles and his calf muscle for saves like this. Obviously, I say that in jest.
Yes,
but I mean, that would have been a highlight reel goal. He just seemed to catch it there with that heel on his left side.
Wow.
But it was all about, he made that decision and he went. If you decide that you're not going to go, you get caught and you look stupid.
Out in front, knocked down by Hainsey ahead of Nicholas Backstrom. Andre Nestrashil, a lead feed for Victor Rask. Mike Green coming back. Around the wall it goes. Nathan Gerby for the Hurricanes. Nestrashil wide of Holtby. Played here by Justin Falk at the top of your screen. Nestrashil's dancing. He'll cut. Lay it along for Hainsey. His shot. In balls high, side of the goal. Shut down by Holtby, but it went out of play. A late whistle, but it definitely went in the screen, and that'll halt play.
And that is reviewable, by the way, had it gone in. This definitely went to the netting. I thought it hit Holtby's mask. And then it hit the netting. I was watching the netting and the way that it bulged, and the referee right there on the goal, I think that's Ghislain Hébert. He knew it. So had this gone off the skate and in, or Gerby, well, as I said, 6 shots through 2 periods. That is the correct call. That did hit the netting.
Jordan Stahl, along with Eric. Alex Semin for Bill Peters. False start off the draw. They'll do it again. 6:44 left in regulation time.
You go back to that goal that went in off of Jonathan Quick and Joe Louis Arena last year that went off the netting. And we talked about it in our broadcast meetings, both with Fox and the NHL. You know, the league wisely made the adjustment that they can go and review that this season. Had that puck gone in the net and the referees had not detected it.
Comes all the way back for a pick now. Played by Ovechkin. A blind pass that misses Hudobin. This is icing against Washington. And because of that, let's get to our last Coors Light Cold Hard Facts installment here tonight, involving Cam Ward, the 14th goaltender in NHL history to play his first 500 games with one team.
And I think quickly we should really talk about David Marcoux, getting him back on his game this year as goalie coach, who he has a history with, a trust with, going back to when David was with Calgary and Lowell in the American League, where he and Eric Stahl played during the work stoppage 2004-2005. They built that bond.
Jordan's shot picked off by Braden Holtby, another face-off in the Washington zone. But you know what, Trip, when we see that graphic and we talk about that and you roll it back a few months, that almost didn't happen in terms of him playing the 500 games. So much speculation at the end of last season and around the draft about maybe a new location for Cam Ward.
No question. I mean, I think he got his head right first this summer. Started living in the present, letting go of the past. And then had a rough October, but because he got himself mentally right first and believed in David Marcoux, his game followed suit. The one other guy, Greg Steffen, who pushed for him to go into the playoffs, to Peter Laviolette, deserves a lot of credit. Because after Martin Gerber, who had been terrific in the regular season, would have been an all-star if it wasn't an Olympic year, had Greg Steffen not pushed then the head coach, Peter Laviolette, to put Cam Ward in after Gerber struggled against Montreal, Cam Ward wouldn't have been the consummate. The Hurricanes might have been bounced from the playoffs.
Right.
So, you know, you look at his goalie coaches, Greg Steffen, we talked about Tom Barrasso, now David Marcoux, all have had a significant contribution. You saw Bill Peters. How about Bill Peters deciding to have Cam soak it in tonight and Hudobin start?
Yeah.
That is a significant decision and a good one from the present head coach of this team with where this game is at.
Yeah, because again, if you go conventionally with a number one who played very well in a win over Philly here on Tuesday with rest, a home game, you would think that would be the case here tonight, but they already had this calculated, and his partner has been extraordinary in this one.
Especially the quickness of his pads. Probably at his best here in the third period, because the Caps truly have, I think, started to push. They've made a line change, splitting up Ovechkin and Backstrom. They've activated their defense. And I can tell you, having worked with goaltenders, usually the guys say they like each other, the number one and the number two, or the guys battling for it, but they really, really don't necessarily. I think these two genuinely support each other. I really think that, and that is the exception to the rule. And I don't criticize other tandems when I say that. It's just guys are competitive. I think these two genuinely like each other.
Here comes Lyles now. He'll move it in. Under 6 minutes left in the third period. A wrap chance. Holtby comes up big. Out of nowhere, it was Jeff Skinner looking for his second of the night. And remember that one, a big moment as we go down the stretch here in Raleigh.
Carolina Hurricanes hockey is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Rex Healthcare, chosen for excellence.
Welcome back inside PNC Arena. 2-0 Carolina late. Let's get an update on tonight's Storm Tracker.
I think you absolutely have to go to this third one here. Falk and Hainsey playing their first game. They played a little bit together, but with Andrej Sekera now in LA against Backstrom and Ovechkin, two players in the top 5 in the league scoring race, and they have been so sound defensively that head coach Barry Trotz, to try to get his team going, has broken those two players up. So that is a strict compliment to the job that Falk and Sekera, Falk and Hainsey have done with the departure of Sekera.
So used to saying those two names together for so long, which dated back to the very start of last season, really never broken up. So that's understandable. 5:34 left in this third period.
By the way, Rowan McEwen, who comes over, a defenseman in the trade for Andre, a good character player in Kingston, and when you look at who the Kings have drafted out of the OHL, Drew Doughty, Dustin Brown, Tanner Pearson, Tyler Toffoli traded for Jeff Carter. If they draft a guy out of the OHL as they did in the second round, McEwen, I think he has a bright future, so we'll keep an eye on him.
Out of the corner, it comes all the way back. Gleason hard pressed by Joel Ward. Getting to it is Brooks Laich for Washington. Jay Beagle on this line with Ward and Laich. Beagle controlling it, losing his stick. Carolina's Riley Nash. He attempts to get it back. Ward along the boards, one of the best wall players in the National Hockey League. Inside it goes. Ward again in control. He sets up the man Alzner at the point. Niskanen off a stick wide. Ward in a battle with Gleason, who takes him down. Play will continue. Niskanen creeping in. His shot through bodies wide. Skinner without his stick punches it back out to neutral ice.
What a job by Bob Gorman, the equipment manager, getting Skinner the stick. But how about Skinner? Playing through the man. He may have a goal right now, but Bill Peters will probably appreciate that more. No trepidation along the wall on his own end, so no stick. He's got to play through the man, and he does so legally on Carl Alzner. Then Bob Gorman stays out of the way, because maybe if that puck, what if it hits the stick that Bob is getting ready for Jeff? So that would have been an interesting situation. I mean, that's a very, very sharp, wily veteran who works with Skip Cunningham, George Alves, among others, on this equipment trifectorate that's outstanding.
They are great. Big part of it now, Holtby. Mike Green out of the corner, 4:25 on the clock. Green in control, away from Nathan Gerby. Over the line in the zone, Green goes wide. Here he comes, he'll circle the wagon. Center one, broken up. Victor Rask out to center for Andre Nestrashil. A handoff, it's Gerby. The late man is Belmore, diving. Good play by Jack Hillen. In control, Backstrom, read by Belmore on the way back. Out of the reach of Gerby. Green in control. 16 minutes plus gone in this third period. Now Marcus Johansson given a shove by Nathan Gerby.
Belmore joins the rush, but because his route is A to B, you never say he's the finest skating defenseman in the league. He gets back and makes the neutral zone turnover, so his splendid night continues.
Hudobin reverses. Gulped by Eric Stahl. Captured by Jason Chimera. He gave it away to Eric. Now Semin looking for Eric Stahl. Burakovsky had it, lost it, and now it's Orpik. They'll settle it down. The final push is on for Washington. They are down by 2. They have lost 2 in a row.
Analytics, we talked to Barry Trotz this morning, lifting the goalie early.
There he goes, 3:18 in the clock. Out of a maze, blocked. Orpik now in deep. 6 skaters out. Carlson a pinch. Wilson goes down with help from Eric Stahl. A loose puck, Chimera. Carlson, Kuznetsov. Hudobin said no. Kuznetsov in control. Niskanen. This way it's Wilson. His shot deflects in the screen. Off the stick of Alexander Semin. Just under 3 minutes left.
Russian on Russian, right side of the screen. No, not Ovechkin. It's Kuznetsov. Look at the patience here. Look at the patience. There's nothing, you know what he tried to do? He tried to bank it off the heel between the legs. So pretty creative thought from Kuznetsov. Maybe trying to find Ovechkin, but I think he's trying to hit the heel, have it go off the heel, but between the legs. Anton Hudobin showed there, even while he was scrambling, that he had the cognizance to not create a hole that wasn't there. He just held his ground, and Kuznetsov had nothing he could do with it.
All right, let's take a long look back at the 2 goals tonight. Late in period 1 trip, it's Brett Belmore.
Player, we've said it, sick this morning, didn't skate, gets the shot through. Andre Nestrashil, who's had a big night with the net front presence, also factoring Gerby and Victor Rask. And then Jeff Skinner, when Cam Ward was on board with our broadcast with a headset. Riley Nash, excellent work. Lindholm wins that foot race, and Skinner's release in the dangerous scoring area does the rest.
Timeout has been burned by Brett Belmore and Jeff Skinner's team here as they get a rest on the bench. 2:58 on the clock. 6 skaters stay out for Barry Trotz.
And 3 centermen, but Bill Peters has used this a lot. All 3 are lefties that could take the draw on this side. Jordan, Eric, the Stalls, and McClement.
Face-off powered back by Jordan Stahl. Along the boards now, fed out again by Jordan. All the way back, it's Backstrom. Shadowed by Jay McClement. Nicholas Backstrom, 2:45 left. His team down by a pair. Starting his engine, Mr. Ovechkin. Here he comes. Alex Ovechkin's shot sealed off by Anton Khudobin.
I talked to Steve Smith this morning. I said, is there any area in the offensive zone that Ovechkin's shot is not dangerous? He said, no, outside the blue line. But you know what? That's not dangerous. That's how well they played him. And, I mean, he's leading the shots on goal in the league by a country mile. Max Pacioretty, I think, is 40-50 behind. But you're going to have to give up that shot. Steve Smith has to be delighted with what they've done to take away that shooting ability of Alex Ovechkin with just 2:37 left.
So another face-off in the Carolina zone. Eric Fehr again. He will cross sticks with Victor Rask. Rask wins it back. Gleason pressured by Troy Brouwer, who hog-ties him. Ovechkin joins the fray. Fehr now moves in for Washington, holding onto it. Ovechkin to the outside. Off a body off Falk. This way captured by Johansson to the point. Green with a shot. Tip. Khudobin the stop. It trickles through, but the whistle had blown it dead.
So the Canes catch a break in the second period with a quick whistle. Third period here. Look at where the puck is, and there's no way Paul Dvorsky, one of the truly seasoned officials, Stanley Cup, that puck was tipped. What a heck of a save. And so it's really camouflaged by the shaft of the stick. No way that Dvorsky could have seen it was free. He makes the right call. The Hurricanes catch another good bounce.
Troy Brouwer, who had the tip, loses that faceoff to Jay McClement. Now Backstrom with 2:09 on the clock. Mike Green, he'll settle it down and look ahead. 6 skaters out. Backstrom, Fehr. Fehr now to an open wing. Hainsey for Carolina, off the boards, back out. Under 2 minutes remaining here at PNC Arena. Alex Ovechkin broken up by Eric Staal. Fed along that time by Troy Brouwer. 1:45 left. Backstrom at his side. They turn it back. Johansson. Now Green calling for it. Ovechkin, his shot off a body blocked in front by John Lyles, and the Hurricanes get it out. McClement. Johansson interrupts that one. Brouwer right back. Troy Brouwer steps in. Lowers the shoulder, holding onto it. Checked by Jordan Staal. This way it's Backstrom. To the point, Green. Mike Green looks it over. Backstrom at his side. In control, Troy Brouwer. A wrister looking for a tip. Now Johansson got to it. Here's Backstrom. 1:12 left. Nicholas Backstrom moves it across. Chimera. Ovechkin wide. He mishit it. Chimera holding onto it. Jason Chimera off a body off Jordan Staal. At his side, Mike Green getting out of Ovechkin. Carolina's on it. Here's the captain. Eric Staal on Backstrom off his stick wide. 52 seconds on the clock. Stretch pass through the center zone intended for Joel Ward. Jordan goes across. Justin Falk through the middle, chipped along by Jordan. 40 seconds left in the neutral zone. A good golf chance that time by Jordan. Getting to it here, John Carlson. 33 seconds left. Everybody up inside PNC Arena. Along the boards now. In the zone, Kuznetsov in on Khudobin. Legally from the trapezoid, handcuffing Falk. Rask getting back for Carolina. 20 seconds on the clock. A steal. Chimera panned down by Joel Ward. Carolina survives. Here they come. Nathan Gerbe cuts. Hacked at by Ovechkin. He stays with it. He scores! Hey, hey! What do you say? Nathan Gerbe.
Well, Gerbe, who has had a season high in shots on goal. Nestershov makes a heck of a play just leading him, a composed play. Right here where there's a penalty, a slash to Ovechkin, and then a hook. The referee had made the call, so I think at that point it's already a good goal with the empty net, if I interpret the rule correctly. But he finishes it just for good measure. Nathan Gerbe, who has found, he's part of that line with Nestershov and Rask. That's been awesome.
That'll do it. On a night where Cam Ward is commemorated for 500 games, how about his partner, Anton Khudobin? His 4th career shutout, his first since March 27th of 14. Carolina defeats Washington 3-0.
It was a fun hockey game. I mean, it began with a very memorable and deserved ceremony for Cam Ward, celebrating his 500th appearance in the big win Tuesday against Philadelphia. And the Hurricanes are able to, in inspiring fashion, score that big first goal in the first period. Nestor Schill, the nice screen, Belmore, who had a big night. I think I have to really point to, like I just said, Nestor Schill and Gerby flanking Victor Rask and the way that line played. Hurricanes had a very good second period. Anton Khudobin proves to be an excellent starting choice on Cam Ward night for Bill Peters, and then that was a big part of this shutout victory.
2 points in the standings for the Hurricanes. With the win tonight, the Carolina Ale House will donate $200 to the Hurricanes Kids and Community Foundation as they round out a 3-0 win here tonight, and we await the 3 stars. And they will all be, obviously, on the side of the Carolina Hurricanes here tonight, once again, as they were against Philadelphia here on Tuesday night. So Brett Belmore, who started the scoring with his first goal of the season late in period 1, is the 3rd star. Jeff Skinner, who is red hot with 6 goals in his last 8, his 16th goal of the season. Made it 2-0 in the second period, is the 2nd star. And we can all bet on the 1st star here tonight. And it should be. Outstanding game for Anton Khudobin, as he is the #1 star with a shutout win tonight over Washington, as he looked at 28 shots, handled them all flawlessly here tonight. And he will have a seat next to our very own Chantel McCabe.
Thank you, John. Anton, what a game for you tonight. But before this game, there was a ceremony for your partner, Cam Ward, commemorating his 500 NHL games played. You know how difficult this position is. What makes Cam such a special player?
Well, I think from the start he just was great, And 500 game, it's a big number for a goalie, like you said. But I congratulate him, and I'm really proud for him too that he reached that.
There were 2 trays this week and 2 big roles to fill. What impressed you most, the way your team played as a whole tonight?
Well, I think our start was great tonight, and I didn't do much today in the first period. I had 1 shot or 2 shots, something like that, or maybe 3, whatever. But we started really good, and we just kept playing. We scored our goals, and but at the same time they played back to back, and we tried to get advantage.
Like you said, the first a little bit easy, but the second and third, they had a ton of pressure on you. Ron Hainsey and Justin Falk working together seamlessly already. What were the guys doing in front of you to help you out and hold that Capitals team, the top of the Metropolitan Division, scoreless?
Well, like a first pass plus boxing out. Talk to me when I'm behind the net, so it's when guys talking to each other, it makes everything easier.
Congratulations on this win. You deserved it.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Chantel. Congratulations to Anton Khudobin. Outstanding here tonight on a night that started with a beautiful ceremony for Cam Ward and his family, celebrating 500 games in the National Hockey League. And just as they did Tuesday night against Philadelphia, the boys took off from there. Final count, the Carolina Hurricanes 3 and the Washington Capitals no score. Stay with us for Hurricanes Live. We have total post-game coverage coming your way next from PNC Arena. The Canes have won 2 in a row. 3-0 tonight over Washington.